Good evening, everyone. I feel privileged to welcome you all for the national level virtual conference on diagnosis, management, and vaccination for COVID-19, organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of AMAT in collaboration with the Department of Marine Biotechnology, AMAT, and Young Academy of India, Punjab. A warm welcome to everyone. Now I would like to request Dr. L. Senthilnathan, Professor, Marine Biotechnology, to deliver the welcome address.
Very good evening to one and all present here, and thank you for joining us in the national level virtual conference on diagnosis, management for COVID-19. It is a pleasure to introduce you to the esteemed guests and delegates in this three-day conference who have come from various walks of life. With the blessings of Almighty, it is my great pleasure to deliver the welcome address. We are very happy to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Colonel Dr. G. Tiruvasagam sir, most respected Pro-Vice Chancellor N. Manogaran sir, beloved Registrar Dr. M. Jayaprakash Vel sir, most respected Joint Examination Dr. Nikhil sir, respected CEO Dr. Sayyid sir, and the guest speakers of the conference, Dr. Feris Bas, Associate Professor, University of Punjab, Dr. Safi E.M. Sulaiman, MD, Consultant Diabetologist and Neonatal Pediatrician, Nagarkoil, and Dr. Farooq Abdullah, MBBS, Government of Tamil Nadu, Health Department, Sivagangai, and the respected heads of the departments, faculties, scholars, students, colleagues, and media participants. Very warm welcome to one and all. We would like to cover every aspect of our society with the current issue through this three-day conference. This conference has a unique theme which is relevant to what is happening currently. According to the World Health Organization reports, closing the gap in a generation, health equity through action on the social determinants of health. Poor and unequal living conditions are the consequences of deeper structural conditions that together fashions the way societies are organized. Poor social policies and programs, unfair economic arrangements, and bad politics. In summary, the end game of this all is going to be get vaccinated, to get the people vaccinated. Vaccines save millions of lives each year. Vaccines work by training and preparing the body's natural defenses, the immune system, to recognize and fight off the viruses and bacteria they target. After vaccination, if the body is later exposed to those disease-causing germs, the body is immediately ready to destroy them, preventing the illness. The concept and the theme of this webinar is to build the public confidence and trust on the safety and efficacy of the vaccine and to adopt the vaccines with full trust and confidence. Maintain COVID appropriate behaviors to reduce the risk of infection and address low risk perception of the infection. I would like to thank and acknowledge all the delegates and support team who have worked hard to make this event a truly successful one. I request all the delegates and participants to take part in all the activities that we have come up with. I wish everyone a successful and fruitful conference. Thank you, one and all. Now, I would like to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to deliver the presidential address.
Happy to see you all on the occasion of IQAC cell of Amet University in collaboration with Young Academy of India. Of course, it is being organized by the Department of Marine Biotechnology of Amet University. Basically, our university used to organize programs of this nature regularly, but I see the topic of this day and the deliberation of this program are going to be totally different. I should appreciate the heads of the departments of marine biotechnology, faculty members of marine biotechnology, the IQAC team, especially Mr. Sundar, and very specifically a professor cum scientist, Dr. Felix Past, who is representing Young Academy of India, for having thought about a title which is a very vital issue, which is being faced by the entire world. Friends, I am neither a scientist or nor an administrator of a country as well. As you all well aware, now two people are very responsible to diagnose, to manage, and ensure giving vaccine to the people of the country. The first category of people are scientists. I can include the medical professionals as well. The latter category of the people are the so-called the rulers of the country or administrators. I am participating in this webinar just like other participants. I am very much eager to listen the speech and the deliberation, especially of Dr. Felix Past. It seems he has wide experience, and he is also in a committee in which they are planning for the country and they are working towards the people to come out from this epidemic episode. I can understand the term diagnosis very well, everyone can understand. But as correctly said by Professor Sandil Nathan, this program is being majorly organized with the scope of creating awareness among the people. Yes, especially the major stakeholders of higher education institutions are the students. WHO gives one statistics, WHO gives a different SOP, ICMR gives a different SOP, state government is giving different SOP, and disaster management is giving different SOP. Even we academicians and academic administrators, we don't have full understanding, total understanding about what is what. Think about a citizen who is living in a remote village. How can I understand what's the root cause of the disease, how it has to be analyzed, what way we can get recovery from it. That is one side of diagnosis, for which hopefully scientists and doctors of this 2 days program will give most exposure towards the major elements. And the second one, that's my discipline, my domain, that's called as management. Management, I'm not managing any health organization. Basically, my subject is management. Of course, I am making use of tools and formulas of management in my administration. What I want to learn, or what I have some knowledge as far as this seminar is concerned, there is a possibility of clinical management, logistic management, inventory management, of course, infrastructure management. If any country is able to ensure the success of all these 4 management, definitely the country and its people can come out with this pandemic situation as early as possible. Hopefully, Dr. Felix will come out and say how all this management can be carried out very effectively. The last one is the COVID vaccination for COVID-19. For the kind information of the participants, especially the speakers of the day. Amet University, we are launching a program, rather to say a campaign, by involving our students. How? The students are given targets. We have almost 4,500 students. Take it as 5,000 students. Each 5,000 student, at an average, a family member of 15,000 of our own parents and students will be vaccinated within another 1 month. That is our target, for which we are giving an incentive to the students, saying that if any student forward the document ensuring the vaccination of himself and his family members, will be given 10 marks in the internal assessment. But it's not a question of giving marks, but it's a question of recognizing the work, what he is going to do. Basically, it's a tough task for them. One side, the government is promulgating and asking the public, don't forget to go for vaccination. But on the other side, these vaccine are not, the injections are not available. Both vaccine are not available. That's a challenge. But now I am putting this challenge to my student friends. Likewise, friends, today we are fortunate to have 2 more people as the speakers. Our organizers have selected wisely by selecting one doctor from government organization, another doctor from the private hospital. They have their own experience. And just a few minutes ago, I heard from the broadcasting of TV, it is going to be 4 lakhs in a day. And the days are not far away. People are cautioning that 2 more days or another 2 days will be a very, very difficult day for India. Some people are saying 2 days. Some people are saying 2 months. When it's a case, it's not going to be in lakhs, it is going to be in crores. When we think about people are going to be affected by corona, think about the casualties and death. We are not able to imagine what is going to happen in future. Now, it is my earnest appeal to the speakers of this day, especially who is going to give the keynote address, Dr. Philip Fast. Please answer the questions. Hopefully, most of the participants will be coming with a lot of questions. We need the answer from experts like you. So at the end, I am also eagerly awaiting to listen your lecture and clarify my doubts as well. With these words of introduction, I wish the conference every success. Wish you all best of luck. Thank you very much indeed.
Now I would like to invite our beloved professor and eminent professor, Dr. Altaf sir, from Department of Marine Biotechnology, for his, to deliver the theme address. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sundar. It is my privilege to give the theme of this conference, the most honorable and most respected Vice Chancellor, Colonel Dr. G. Tiruvasagam, Dr. Sendinathan, Head of the Department, Dr. Jaiprakash Vail, Registrar, Dr. Muthirilan, Controller of Examination, the Organizing Committee, and participants. As our Vice Chancellor has clearly explained, this is something which is unusual and unprecedented pandemic, a simple virus with which we are living for the past 1 year. All medicos, all researchers, frontline workers, everybody is intensively working on it day and night. And it has caused a colossal loss of properties, life, heartbreaking conditions. And this, in spite of all these things, still we have many questions to be answered. Of course, we cannot simply throw the blame on anybody, either on the government or the medicos or anything for all these variations which is coming about. This is mainly because a animal virus can be there in animal, there only it can live. When it mutates, it can infect either a plant or a human being. That is how it has infected a human being. And the problem is, it is not the end of infecting a human being, because again, if it has to infect, this infection, another individual, human being, can carry only from that animal to human being, animal to human. This is how the swine flu and all those things happens, so that we can curb it there itself. But unfortunately, after infecting the human being, it is mutated. And this mutation has led to the transmission from human to human. And again, from Western strains, Chinese strains, Indian strains, so many strains, it is all changing its genetic constitution. As a result, sometimes it is difficult to identify. Sometimes it is manifesting in different ways with regard to its the implications, like what are the symptoms, maybe headache or throat infection or fever and so on. So there is variation pertaining to this. But anyhow, the whole aspect of this viral influence is only for 21 days, where once when it is infected, maybe 3-4 days it becomes asymptomatic. Nobody knows that that particular person is infected. After 3 days only, manifestation like headache or fever comes. If we could attend to it at that particular point of time, we can solve the issue at the throat level itself. If we just try to wait for some time, maybe some normal fever or normal headache or any such thing, then what exactly happens? It starts penetrating into the throat tissues, multiplies, and then passes into the lungs. That is the second week. So only during this period, we develop intensive symptoms like cough and other things, body pain, severe body pain. If we attend to that state even before reaching the lungs, or the upper lobe or lower lobe, only in the middle lobe itself, it can be solved. If we just try to evade that period, then it starts spreading to the organs, where it becomes more serious. The oxygen level falls, as a result of which there is absolute problems of needing oxygen or ventilator, or different tissues like digestive tract or kidney or heart may be affected. So 21 days we need to. So in this regard, a common man, as the Vice Chancellor has rightly pointed out, how can he know unless we take the message to them? What is the message? First, when there is some issue, unnatural thing, if we get a headache of different type, which we are not getting, then immediately we should isolate at home level itself. Even we need not go to the doctor. And thereafter, stay there and follow the strict hygienic conditions as it has been advised by the WHO. Cleaning the hands, face frequently, wearing the mask, maintaining different distance, and so on. So this, if we just try to maintain, we can try to attend to it, because it is already we have a bit of a herd immunity. If we leave that, then we may have to go to the next stage, and which requires hospitalization and further treatment. So in this regard, better to even produce small documentaries or some kind of visuals and circulate it to the general public. What kind of impact it is making? What are the precautions to be taken? And how exactly we can protect ourselves? If we do certain things, even like a common flu, we can put an end to this pandemic. And the next aspect is management. This management, as pointed out by the logistics, apart from that, the protocol for treatment, whether at the lung stage itself, or how to protect before it goes to the lung level, what kind of drug. And even though it is 1 year old, still there is quite a lot of variations in the protocols adopted by different medicos. And this is also need to be resolved. And the third is vaccination. Vaccination is a must. We have so many myths. We feel that if we take the vaccination, that because it contains the killed virus, it may produce COVID. We think that this DNA or RNA, which we get in the form of vaccination, may alter our DNA. So we may become a genetically modified organism. That kind of myth is there. And then we have something like, if we take the injection or a jab of a vaccine, there may be infertility, or we may have some kind of blood clots or any such thing coming. It's all or something which are myths. It is not the reality. COVID vaccines are produced after intensive work, research work, and several testings. All these things have made this vaccine safe. Of course, even for a small insect bite, somebody may have nothing to, there won't be anything, rashes or any such thing. But whereas another individual may develop a small rash, which will disappear in a few minutes. Likewise, there may be some side effects for some 10% of people, but 90% of for the people it is safe. Only vaccine will bring about an end to this pandemic. And the recent data on Israel, UK and USA clearly points out that more than 50% of the people vaccinated, second wave has escalated the graph and immediately it is crashed. We should now look for vaccinating intensively. And it's a welcome suggestion of the Vice Chancellor, sir. Every individual should try to educate the people to get vaccinated. Of course, the vaccinations are not commonly available. Government, hopefully it will make us with this vaccination, provide the vaccination, and it has to be done. At least 30 to 40% of the Indian population should be vaccinated within 15 days to 1 month. Then there can be real thing. Otherwise, we have seen we have lost so much. It is a colossal loss, fatality, and the loss of economy, everything. And it is going to take a greater toll if we don't sensitize with regard to the precautions at the social level, at the grassroots level. And this is our objective. With this objective only, we have 3 eminent speakers in our conference, Dr. Felix, Dr. Shafi, and Dr. Abdullah. Hopefully, we will get the benefit and we will get their views, and we will try to share it with all friends, family members and relatives, so that we can create a social awareness on the importance of these vaccines. With this, let me thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Now, thank you for the theme address, sir. Thank you for delivering a theme address. Professor?
Yes, thank you.
Now I would like to invite our Professor Selvakumar, sir, from Department of Marine Biotechnology, to introduce about the keynote speaker.
It would be a great honor to introduce Dr. Felix, sir. Actually, he also previously we had a webinar, and he also presented in that. It's a great honor for me to introduce Dr. Felix, sir. And now Felix, sir is an associate professor and head of the department of botany.
Now I would like to invite our keynote speaker, young scientist, Dr. Felix, sir.
Yeah.
Now is going to give the clear idea about the myths and facts in the current situation, what is going on in the social media in the current situation, pandemic time. Is our Felix, sir, we know is very familiar who is the young scientist who has received the presidential award from from government of India, and he has published many articles, and he is the founder of the Young Academy of India, and he is a member of Indian Science COVID-19 Hoaxbusters member. I would like to invite Dr. Felix sir. Please, over to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's my privilege to be part of this session, and a big congratulations, sir. Colonel Dr. Tiruvasagam, the Vice Chancellor. I was hearing your address first. Amazing, and big congratulations, because the university where you are spearheading, AMET, has been ranked as third best maritime university in the world. And I would like to share that our own Vice Chancellor, Professor R.K. Tiwari, sir, he was one of the invited, speaker in one of the seminar that you organized on NEP 2020 a few months back. Thanks a lot. I'm really happy to meet you, sir. And also, while listening to you, the many ideas that is flooding to my mind, of course, words of appreciation. You just said that you are planning to vaccinate your extended family of that university, around 15,000 people. Amazing move. And you are actually planning to, incentivize it by part of the internal continuous assessment. What an idea. Fantastic idea. And also your zest for the learning. That shows the intellectual humility that you said that you will be part of all the 3 webinars that are being planned here. It's fantastic move by the AMET to organize. This is a time, is a need of the time. The COVID-19 is spreading, unfortunately, throughout the India and rest of the world, and we really need to create the social, the awareness about this particular disease. So AMET is doing fantastic, though it is a maritime university about the marine sciences and engineering. And thanks, Professor Sundar from Marine Engineering Department, for inviting me to be part of this program. And also Professor Altaf, I'm really happy to listen to you. You also busted some of the myth about the vaccine. And also Professor M. Jayaprakash, my good friend, he's the registrar of this university. And also I can see that there are several representatives from the press in today's audience. And this one is, co-organized by the Young Academy of India. As you can see, my virtual background, Young Academy of India is a very new academy. It has sprung in existence only a few months back during the COVID-19 lockdown, national lockdown. So the academy is mainly about the science communication. We release Curiosity, which is a monthly science show. It's basically a digest of what really moved the sciences, international sciences, for the last month. It's not merely science, but also humanities and engineering, everything together, and it's hardly 30 to 40 minutes long. And also COVID-19 updates, including the latest from the treatment and vaccine scenarios, also observances, what to look for in the upcoming month, including astronomy related observances and UN and national observances. And also, very importantly, opportunities for the students and young faculties, like what are the deadlines approaching for the grants and foreign PhDs, all those things, and the volunteers of the Curiosity and the YAI, we have more than 15,000 members now, and expanding rapidly. And these young volunteers are translating it to regional languages, including Tamil. And I'm really happy about it. And another of the initiative of the YAI is Mentex program. It's basically idea matchmaking between mentors and mentees. So mentors are professionals and mentees are usually students. So it's completely free, virtual, and transdisciplinary. To give an example, last year, one of the students from Delhi, she has a passion on Indian classical dance. So she underwent 2 months virtual internship with the professor in our university, human geneticist, plus a professor in CU Tamil Nadu, Professor Mathurima. She is very keen on physics of dancing. So physics of dancing and genetics of dancing together. See, that is what kind of transdisciplinary knowledge creation or synthesis envisioned in NEP 2020 as well. So that is what our academy is doing. So please do apply for a member of the AI. It's completely free, just a matter of few seconds you'll be in. So now coming to today's session. Today's session is a special session for Hoaxbusting. It's an interactive session. And first, I would like to start with some of the hoaxes, and I will meet these hoaxes, and then we will have extended Q&A session. Okay, so I will try to answer all of your questions, but please mind that I'm not a professional doctor. I'm only a science enthusiast. I've been working with COVID-19, and yeah, of course, I believe I'm updated because I keep on reading about what the new science papers and what are the latest guidelines from regulatory authorities around the world. Okay, so that is what. Of course, you're welcome to criticize me on Q&A session too. No problem at all. And I'm also actively part of this Inside COVID. It's a fantastic organization. We are involved with, busting several myths. Many of the myths which I'm going to share today, I got it from the Inside COVID team, ISRC team. And we are also having several regional programs. The Malayalam, myth busting is now scheduled on next Sunday, 15th Sunday. So if you are free, please go and participate on it. And Tamil is also on the way. Okay, so Tamil myth busting session is also on the way. And also I'm part of KSSP, that is Kerala Shastra Sahitya Parishad. I'm working with them to bust several of this myth. All right, onset. Well, I'm not going to share any PPT. It's just offline talk to you. And at the onset, I would like to share a very important and very famous quote by Carl Sagan, the famous writer. I love Carl Sagan's work, like Cosmos. That is one of the book which I read when I was in school. And that actually incited me to choose a career in science. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidences. If you are making an extraordinary claim that this can cure COVID-19, it's your responsibility to come out with extraordinary evidences. That's how the science works. Science doesn't work on anecdotes or hearsays, and your half-baked beliefs doesn't matter to the science. It's immaterial, you believe or not believe. For example, electron. Do you believe in electrons or not? Doesn't matter. Electron exists. If electron doesn't exist, how can you see me? So let us start with the origin of this COVID-19. That is a very, very famous myth, extremely controversial myth. I don't have any problem touching this controversial myth as well. Chinese hoax. Yes, that's a hoax. In 2020, a very famous paper published in Nature Microbiology. Nature is a famous British magazine, and Science is an American magazine by AAAS. Both of these magazines continuously busted several myths, saying that this is a Chinese-made virus. No, it is not. Nature Microbiology report by Bonnie et al. 2020, please have a look. It says that the lineage that resulted in SARS-CoV-2 has been circulating in bats, for decades. They actually did a time-calibrated tree to see that it has been circulating from 1940s. Many decades it has been circulating in the bats, right? And that kind of myth is unfounded, really. In 2007, let's go really back. 2007, Cheng et al. They published their paper in a very, high-impact journal called Clinical Microbiology Reviews. Let me read out the quote from this paper way back in 2007. Okay. The presence of a large reservoir of SARS-CoV-like viruses in horseshoe bats, together with culture of eating exotic mammals in southern China, is a time bomb. He said that it's a time bomb. The possibility of the re-emergence of SARS should not be ignored. Should not be ignored. That is what his statement. This is in 2007. And many of us think that the SARS-CoV is a new virus, never existed. Nothing like that. It has been, I studied microbiology. I took microbiology for my bachelor's, and it was there in Prescott. So coronavirus is a very well-known family of viruses. It's nothing new, right? And people are reading this kind of thing new. They think that, okay, this is a completely lab-made. It's a hoax, friends. It's completely hoax. And there is a very good, very interesting internet meme that says, at the start of every disaster movie, there is a scientist who is being ignored. Yes, the Cheng et al.'s paper 2007, they said that it's a time bomb. The bushmeat trade in China is a time bomb, because the reason is our indiscriminate use of this biodiversity. The International Day of Biodiversity is coming up. 22nd of May is International Day of Biodiversity. Yes, biodiversity needs to be preserved. Deforestation is the root cause of all these trouble, friends. The technical term for it is called spillover event. So spillover means the first wild to human transmission. So for the last 1 century, we have 2 spillover event per year. Every year we have 2 such event. It's nothing special about COVID-19, but we didn't pay heed to countless number of scientists who has been saying this for the last many decades, and we have seen that, for example, SARS, not coronavirus, but SARS earlier, it is coming from bats. Marburg virus, named after the German city where it has found first, bats. And Ebola is also from bats. Nipah virus, it was reported first time in Kerala, bats again. AIDS is from chimpanzees, the primates. MERS, that is Middle East Respiratory Syndrome virus, from camel. Avian influenza H5N1 is from birds. H1N1 from swine, the pig, swine flu, Lyme disease from deers and rodents. Zika and dengue from exotic mosquitoes. So all these things are from, the wilderness to human being, and still, we tend to completely avoid it and spread the hoax that it's okay to destroy the biodiversity. It's all, the COVID-19 is a lab made. No, it is incorrect presumption. The evidence points the other way around. And why Nature and Science, very famous American and British journal, should they support the Chinese controversy? No, it is not. It's what the science say. And is it new, this kind of hoax? HIV. When the HIV was discovered in 1980s, prevailing fake news among the black population of America was that it is a lab made, designed by the white Americans to decimate, to kill the black population. That is completely hoax. Now we know it. It's not a lab made. And why to stop in 1980s? Let's go still back. 14th century and 16th century bubonic plague, the Black Death of the Europe. Prevailing fake news during those time is that the Jews were deliberately intoxicating the wells to kill the Christians. And that actually started, the Christians started killing all the Jews because of the fake news. This happens time after time during the pandemic, friends. Now coming to some other kinds of fake news about the prevention, how to prevent the COVID-19. My time is getting short, so I would like to speed up several of these myths. To prevent, immune booster. It's very, very common here in India. For the last 1 year, friends, I've been saying this again and again. Immune booster doesn't work. We have been bamboozled. And that is, I would say, that is main reason why COVID-19 is spreading too much in our country. Immune boosters. For example, it's endless. List is endless, like turmeric, cow milk, lukewarm water, honey, lemon, tulsi, ghee, ajwain, jaggery, that is good, or vellum, etc. All kinds of combinations thereof, like a turmeric in lukewarm water, or honey and lemon with lukewarm milk, or whatever the combinations be, it doesn't work. Or garlic and pepper too, of course, that can be a part of this, immune boosters. If you ask me, do I love it? I love everything. Yes, I love turmeric. I use turmeric quite often, but doesn't mean that I believe in this hoax. No, I love the taste, so I'm eating it. I love ghee. I love milk. Tulsi. I love tulsi. So, but it's different. I love it, but it's very different from saying that it protects you from COVID-19. The reason is that if I say that it protects you from COVID-19, you take it as granted, and you take it as a passport to go out without wearing mask and without maintaining the physical distancing. You have to follow the government regulations. So don't take it as a granted that it's an immune booster and going out is perfectly fine. Fake news are everywhere, friends. Why they say cow milk? Again, the religious connotation. Why you want to mix the religion with the science? That it doesn't work that way. And also, most of this fake news forward that we come across every day in this WhatsApp and Facebook and Instagram, it actually uses several of these technical jargons, the so-called hocus pocus jargons, and that is a hallmark of the pseudoscience, friends. For example, they use the terms like immunomodulant, or they say turmeric can prevent cytokine storm. Well, you have no clue what the cytokine storm is. It's nothing, you know, but it says that it can actually prevent cytokine storm. Then you know, if you can read English, then you think that, wow, it sounds so technical, it must be true. No, that is the hallmark of the pseudoscience. Okay, don't believe in it. Friends, we have only two ways to ensure immunity. Rather boost the immunity. I don't like to use the term boosting the immunity because that's not a good idea. At least to ensure proper immunity, we have only two ways. First approach is easiest approach, via negativa. It's a philosophical approach, via negativa. Via negativa means we can achieve a lot of progress in our life, not by addition, not by complicating our life, but by subtraction, to remove the vices from our life. Remove the vices. What are the vices? Like vices that can weaken the immunity is like boozing. If you drink alcohol, stop drinking alcohol right away, because alcohol really decrease your immunity. You might have heard a statement like little bit of alcohol, as you know, a peg a day is okay, it's good for immunity. No, it is not. Even a drop of alcohol is not good. Alcohol is an intoxicating drug. Okay. And now coming to smoking. Yes, smoking can also reduce drastically your immunity. If you smoke, stop quitting smoking altogether. These two things remove from your life without adding some extra stuff, immune boosters. Why you want it? The third one is high stress levels, work-related stress too. Yeah, that also has those. There are several studies that says still, you know, cortisol levels in our blood increases, and that has ramifications on the immunity. You know, so reduce the stress level, enjoy the activities that you like, you know, and practice safe sex. Yes. So for example, HIV/AIDS is an immune system disease, right? Immunosyndrome, right? So that is why it actually weakens your immunity. So safe sex is very important. Via negative approach, we can remove the vices from our life, you know, to achieve the proper adequate immunity. Second, now we have yet another adequate weapon to boost our immunity, that is vaccines. You know, so vaccines are really, really important. And other than these two approach, I will come to in a short while about the vaccine and busting vaccine hoaxes. But other than that, boosting the immunity per se is not good at all. You know, it's not only unachievable by the herbal booster, but also it's dangerous, outrightly dangerous. You know why? A boosted immune system is responsible for autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, multiple sclerosis, type 1 diabetes, lupus, allergies, and so on, that have actually no cure. Even cytokine storm, I said earlier, that is also a reason, is the boosted immunity. Why you want to boost your immunity? You just need to you know, have an adequate immunity. Normal food is absolutely fine to have an adequate. You don't need some extra. You don't have to go for extra cure for it, you know. So I strongly suggest you not to fall prey for this propaganda and fake news. Please read Carl Sagan's book, The Demon Haunted World, Science as a Candle in the Dark. Especially only one chapter, you can download it freely. You just Google it. The chapter which I'm saying is called The Fine Art of Baloney Detection Kit. You know, so that is a Sagan's rules for busting bullshit and also for fostering the critical thinking. That's really important. Critical thinking, right? To see what is logical and what is irrational. That's really important. And immune system boosters, other you know, hoaxes are arsenicum album, the homeopathic vaccine. No, it's a pseudoscience. It doesn't work. Scientists have busted the myth again and again. If it works, then why the government is investing money on our vaccine if we already have a vaccine? So it doesn't work, friend. Other claims that 2 drops of coconut oil in the nostrils. Oh, come on. It doesn't work. Coconut oil in the nostril is really dangerous because this coronavirus is an enveloped virus. And this, you know, it's a non-polar substance. So, you know, technically it increases risk of you getting the COVID-19. Or ghee in the nose. No, please never do that. Lemon drops in the nose. Why you want to go for this? Recent fake news is a glucose solution. 25% weight by volume. Exactly. They, you know, it's one of the hallmark of the pseudoscience. They will specify in technical detail exactly 25% weight by volume, glucose in water, and put in the nose. Never do that, friends, because there are several fungal diseases coming up. Even BBC reported 3 days back in the front page, the blinding fungus. After COVID-19, several of the patients are getting blind because of fungal infection. Yes, the glucose solution, if you put in the nose, it increases likelihood of getting fungal infection. Okay, never do that. Steam inhalation as a protection to boost your immunity, no, it doesn't work. Saline goggle or mouthwash, yoga, meditation. I mean, if it actually gives you some peace of mind, why not? You can do the meditation, but that is different from saying that if you do meditation, that gives you protection from COVID-19. That is pseudoscience. If you like to do meditation, I love meditation, mindful meditation. I do practice it. Mindfulness. That is a stress reliever. That's perfectly fine. Yoga is also good to stretch your body. Other than that, if you do yoga or meditation, you're completely protected from, the COVID-19. That is pseudoscience, friend. Faith healing, like, the various religious, chant will protect you from COVID-19. No, it doesn't. Aparajita Churnam. Yesterday there was a very famous incident. Day before yesterday in Kerala, in Alapi, left CPM is ruling the Alapi as far as in Kerala, as you know. So the Alapi, they actually started this Aparajita Churnam, burning this Churnam in belief that it protects from COVID-19. The organization where I'm really part of, KSSP, which is a left-leaning organization. It doesn't matter, but they criticized it. It doesn't work. It's not scientific at all. It doesn't protect you from COVID-19. And another myth is COVID-19 is spread by 5G network. Just now, a few minutes back, I spoke with the media, a fact-busting website with an extended conversation. Why 5G network doesn't spread anything? Maybe people are simply forwarding the fake news through the WhatsApp, and gullible people believe in all these myth, friends. Please stop it. We have a very limited number of days on planet Earth, like butterfly. Carl Sagan again said, like a butterfly, our life is extremely limited. So try to save somebody's life instead of spreading these lies on the fake news. 5G network is a radio wave. If radio wave can spread these coronavirus particles, then even watching TV or over the phone, you can get the COVID-19. It's fake news. It doesn't work that way. Another news is that 5G reduces immunity. No, it doesn't. Fact is fact, friends. 5G is nothing but a radio wave. It doesn't reduce our immunity. If you simply go out, have a walk, every second, trillions of neutrinos are piercing your body. Every second, trillions of neutrinos, extraterrestrial neutrinos. It pierces your body and it pierces the entire earth and pass out through the other side. That is what the science says. So what? Nothing is going to happen. These are natural phenomena. 5G is harmless. It doesn't reduce our immunity too. And COVID-19 does not exist. Some people think that COVID-19 itself is a hoax. Outright denialism, like Holocaust denialism. I have written an article in Hindu about this particular, my experience when I was in Berlin. One of this German guy, he said that, well, Holocaust, it never happened. I asked him, okay, then you can go and see that museum, Topography of Terror. That's a German funded museum that exhibits the crime that, Hitler has done for the humanity. Yes, people believe in all this nonsense, friends. Even millions, I would say millions, are still believe that the earth is flat. It's not round. They have dedicated Facebook groups, flat earthers. And whatever the proof you give, they will never believe. This is a problem. We have to actually change our belief in light of evidences. That is what the scientific method is all about, right? Another fake news is that dexamethasone prevents COVID-19. Friends, never do self-medication. Dexamethasone is a steroid. Never take it, right, in a belief that it actually prevents from COVID-19. No, it doesn't. Dexamethasone is a good, if you are identified with COVID-19, if you are having serious, COVID-19, then steroid can help you, if you are under the oxygenation, and that too after 1 week of no progress, no prognosis, then you can try the dexamethasone. I mean, your doctor can. Self-medication, stop it. dexamethasone. I think this is the main reason why this blinding fungi is now spreading everywhere, because steroid reduces your immunity. It's not that it actually increases immunity, it reduces, it's not good at all. Okay. Another fake news is the IR based thermal scanner can cause brain tumor. Oh my God, what a fake news is that? IR rays again, the IR rays, the intensity of IR rays in this thermal scanner are much lower than the IR rays you get when you take a walk outside during a sunny day. More than 10,000 times the IR concentration in the sunlight, that is reaching the surface of Earth, comparing with the IR in the thermal scanner. And still people spread this lie. Oh, come on. Treatment related hoax. Herbalism. No, herbalism does not. For example, Giloistum, that is the latest fake news spreading in the groups where I'm part of, the Facebook and WhatsApp. A Giloistum, if you take the Giloistum, it can cure COVID-19. Friends, no, it doesn't. If we have that kind of herbal, then why, it is WHO, CDC not recommending it? There is nothing like that. Please trust the science, evidence-based science. And the Sagan statement, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidences. If you think Giloistum works, what is that actually extraordinary evidence? You need extraordinary evidence. That is what the scientists are doing. We believe we do that clinical trials, phase 1, 2, and 3, and we base our claims based upon the, the p-values and all those hypothesis testing, null hypothesis, alternative everything makes sense in science, friends. And maybe the one reason is that Giloy, the plant Giloy, sounds like Gilead, the company name that produces the remdesivir. Remdesivir is the drug against the COVID-19. You see, very expensive nowadays, right? People are hoarding it. People are buying from the black market at a very high price. I will come in a short while how the remdesivir, does it work or not? But maybe because the company that produced remdesivir is Gilead, and this sounds like Giloy, and oh, come on, what a nonsense is that? It doesn't. Coconut water or neem, haldi, papaya leaves, hot cow milk, all those things, immune booster again comes here as a treatment. Dangerous, never attempt it. If you identify that its RT-PCR is positive, get treated from the hospital, the designated COVID-19, modern hospital. You have to actually go for that. Another fake news about the treatment is HCQ, that is hydrochloroquine. Earlier days, we thought that HCQ worked, but now we have very high quality data that HCQ, the chloroquine, does not work. You're wasting your time and energy on HCQ. Another fake news is steam and hot water, the lukewarm water as a treatment. No, it's not a treatment. If you enjoy a hot cup of lukewarm water, why not? Go and take it. If you are COVID positive, nothing harm. If you like chicken soup, have the chicken soup or whatever the soup, the non-vegetarian soup you like. I'm a vegetarian. I enjoy whatever I like coffee. Why not? No issues at all. If you like ice cream, no problem at all. It's fake news. Please stop believing in this fake news that actually mix our faith and our religion, everything all mixed up together as a package to appeal the masses. They have propagandist mindset. Believe it, beware of all this myth. And ingesting sanitizer. Oh my God, I was surprised to see that kind of fake news coming up. Never do that. Sanitizer is poisonous. Bleach, the chlorine containing bleach, ingesting, many people died because of this fake news. Friends, if you don't know, stop it. You can even quit the social media at all instead of spreading these lies, unsubstantiated lies that can actually cause the death of people. And yoga and meditation. Friends, I lost one of my very good friend a few months back. He was our sports officer in our university where I work. My best friend, he was a yoga practitioner, steadfast yoga practitioner. He does every single day, and he's a yoga instructor. He lost his life to the COVID-19. Friends, stop doing this fake news. Just trust the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, whatever the ministry guidelines, ICMR's guidelines, AIMS guideline. Follow rigorously, and don't trust these Facebook or WhatsApp forwards, and don't trust politicians. Who are these politicians? Why you want to trust them? Science, this is COVID-19 is a scientific problem. Trust scientists, not the politician. Okay. Now coming to mask related fake news. Some people and many of the forwards say mask is not invented here, it's Western, so distrust the Western conspiracy. That's a, that's a textbook example of a cognitive bias. Not invented here, that's a name of a cognitive bias. There is a name to cognitive bias like that. Not invented here. So what? We are really privileged to say that India is the world's the most populous democratic country. Yes, we are. I'm also proud about my country. But do you think democracy is invented here in India? No. So what? It's hardly matters. We have to actually take the best practices from elsewhere. That is the only way. That is how the science work. Science is also born in the same country where democracy is born, Greece. And why? What is so special in the Greece? Because they were open for criticism. You can criticize them. That is how the science progresses. Science progresses by refutations. Conjecture, refutation. Again, conjecture and refutation. Even a school student can criticize a Nobel Prize winner in science. That is a hallmark of science. And mask, other very daring pseudoscience is hypercapnia and hypoxia. I busted in many of my YouTube videos. Mask produces something called hypercapnia, such a technical sounding jargon. I told you these are really hallmark of the pseudoscientists. The real scientists, friends, they speak out. They actually make the science simpler to the masses. But they communicate the science. While fakers and pseudoscientists, they look for the deep technical jargons to guile the public, to misguide the public. Hypercapnia is increased carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide, poisoning. Mask will not cause it. Hypoxia means oxygen level decreasing. Another viral fake news. No, mask doesn't. Even much before the COVID-19, we have surgeons in the operation theater. They conduct the surgery for long 10 hours, 12 hours, even 18 hours wearing the surgical mask. Are they dying? No, no problem at all. So distrust this pseudoscience. Mask cannot filter fart argument. That's a very interesting argument which I come across in the Reddit. So one guy says that, well, even if you wear the mask, you can still smell the obnoxious smells like fart. So that means that it cannot filter the virus. So what? None of the masks can filter the virus, but it's not that you're preventing the virus, to come into your body. Virus is not like naked virus, swimming around the air. No, it is not. It's incorrect presumption. We are getting this COVID-19 by air, the aerosol and droplets, minute respiratory droplets. For that, the mask can prevent you. That is why we are wearing the mask. Even the cloth mask, surgical mask or the fabric mask can protect you. No problem at all. Right. And another one is that the shawl, the veshti in Tamil, right? We call it as kasavu shawl. You can just put this kasavu shawl. You can just cover your face. That is a good substitute for mask. No, it's not a substitute. Whom you are cheating. Many people I've seen that they wear bandana and handkerchief as a substitute for mask, because there is actually a fine. If you're going out in the public places, if you are not wearing mask, then police can fine you around 500 rupees. So to cheat it, you're putting the handkerchief. Come on, stop cheating yourself. It's not the police inspector. You are, your life is risky if you are doing this cheating. That is what we have to think about. Herd immunity is another completely misunderstood. I have actually busted in my YouTube videos too. What is herd immunity and why the herd immunity does not work for COVID-19? There is something called curse of knowledge. Little bit of knowledge is more dangerous than no knowledge at all. That is really important. Education is not equal to learning. Many people prefer university professors with PhD and DSc degree. They are the one who's spreading all these hoaxes. Academic degrees has nothing to do with learning. I have good friends who are not even, in gazetted rank, but still they are so much better informed friends. So distrust those kind of fake news friends. Herd immunity, one of the arguments is that staying home in the lockdown reduces immunity. No, there is no proof for that. Staying at home is absolutely fine. Even inside our home, we are exposed to various kinds of germs, and they link it with the hygiene hypothesis and C-section, a cesarean section, the kids born out of C-section are prone to allergic reaction. That is right. That statement is, I mean, you're mixing up several statements to substantiate the fake news. That is incorrect. Staying at home do not reduce your immunity, period. That is what we have to think. And you're mixing up with other entirely different kind of thing that is called straw man fallacy in creative thinking. Cognitive bias, it is a straw man fallacy. So mistrust these kind of arguments, friends. Herd immunity as a solace. Many people say that we are against the lockdown because of the herd immunity will help. No, it does not help that way. For example, Sweden tried with, they experimented with herd immunity early on. There is no forced lockdown, nothing in the beginning of 2020. And then what happened? Sweden is one of the worst affected, per capita affected, death rate was super high in the Western Europe, because of this. And even the emperor of Sweden criticized this government stance. Herd immunity is not an answer. Herd immunity might work for non-life threatening diseases, but for this is a life threatening disease, the COVID-19. Yes, herd immunity work only by vaccination. Herd immunity, by the way, is indirect immunity. So if I'm vaccinated, by the way, I got 2 shots of vaccine, and if I'm with a group of people with let us say 20 people, and out of which 19 are vaccinated and only one guy is not vaccinated, but he or she is not COVID positive, then absolutely no problem. The person is absolutely safe, because others are vaccinated. So that kind of indirect immunity is known as herd immunity. And because of the herd immunity, propagators are spreading the rumors that, herd immunity is solace and lockdown is not good. You should go out and spread the disease. No, please don't do that. Follow the government regulations. That is what I would like to emphasize here. And many studies have shown that, studies from various countries are showing that economic recovery after the forced lockdown is tremendous. Rather than the countries which did not go for lockdown, they are much worse off economically. So the countries which went for lockdown, they are improving drastically. So herd immunity is not the answer. Now coming to oxygen related fake news, so many of the fake news, friends. Cow exhale oxygen. No, cow is an animal. Any kind of animal inhale air and exhale air will have lesser oxygen because we use it. Right? Aerobic metabolism, right? So oxygen will never be exhaled by any animal. Okay, so having a cow or spending time with the cow is not a solution for the oxygen crisis. Another fake news is sleep underneath a banyan tree or peepal tree. Friends, photosynthesis is double-edged, right? It has got dark reaction and light reaction. During the dark time, the plants respirate. It actually takes up the oxygen. That is the reason many people are saying that, if you have house plant, it's not a good idea to have a lot of house plant in your bedroom. Reason is that the plants takes up, it removes oxygen from your room, so during the time of this one. So of course it produces oxygen during the daytime, but at the night, it takes up the oxygen and releases the carbon dioxide. So sleeping underneath the peepal tree or banyan tree is not a good option. It's not a substitute for medical grade oxygen. Don't fall prey for this kind of hoax. Camphor burning for oxygen. No, it doesn't work. Camphor, anything, friends. To burn means it is basically oxidation. Oxygen takes up, right? If to any substance, organic substance, to burn, it releases the carbon dioxide and takes up the oxygen. So you are actually reducing the oxygen level in your room by burning the camphor or cow dung. Mistrust the fake news. I think this is the main reason why we are actually in a big trouble, because the people, without looking at the science, they simply spread the fake news. I would say that even the educated people with PhD degrees are also doing the same thing. So, you know, mistrust whoever is forwarding. Think about it. Let logic prevail rather than the propaganda, friends. Homeopathic medicine that increases the blood oxygen level. I have seen multiple posts like that. This particular drug, homeopathic drug, if you take it, increases the blood oxygen level. If we have that kind of drug, why do we need this medical oxygen? Think about it. Why government is spending so much money on medical oxygen? You know, if you have this kind of a magic, miraculous drug that can increase the blood oxygen level, mistrust this pseudoscience, friends. We don't have any such drug that increases the blood oxygen level. And even if there is, it's a bad idea to increase the blood oxygen level. No, it's not a good idea at all, because that can cause cancer. Higher oxygen level is linked with the cancer. You know, it's never a good idea that, you know, you're increasing the blood oxygen level. No. Another fake news is air condition. Put on the air condition to increase the oxygen in your room. Come on. We know it. Air condition simply, you know, that actually cools down your room. And if it feels good, why not go with that? But beyond that, extrapolating this and to mix up the oxygen theory with the air conditioner, it's nonsense, absolute nonsense. Use your mind, friends. Common sense. Let common sense prevail. Another fake news is nebulizer. You know, so if you don't have oxygen cylinder, you can use nebulizer as a substitute for oxygen. No, it's not a substitute. Nebulizer can never substitute medical grade oxygen. Fake news. Now coming to vaccine related fake news, Professor Altaf already covered one or two fake news. Vaccine is Western, not invented here. I told you, mask, the same kind of fake news is being spread. Not invented here, so what? It hardly matters. Edward Jenner, yes, he invented in Oxford University. We also have Jenner Institute in Oxford University where the Covishield is, they invented, right? The Oxford vaccine, Chadox and COV2 is a technical name of that vaccine. Yeah, Edward Jenner is a British man. Yeah, correct. So what? And having invented here is also nothing to do with its efficacy. You know, for example, pan chewing and spitting. Do you think it's something very good to be proud of? No. Vaccine causes blood clot. Another myth. No vaccine. See, you have to actually trust what the science say. You know, the statistics say. Professor Jamil, my good friend, he was actually the director of India Alliance, very famous group of the Wellcome Trust. So he shared in the Facebook about a comparison. You know, the risk of dying if you go out by random lightning stroke is 1 in 1 lakh. 1 in 1 lakh. And risk of getting the clot after this Covishield is 1 in 6 lakh. So don't be stupid, you know, so it is so much lesser. So having this lightning stroke is 1 in 1 lakh, random lightning stroke and death. Does that prevent you from getting out of your home? No, right? So then why are you so much afraid of this blood clot after this vaccine? Distrust this pseudoscience, friends. You know, another thing is the vaccine can cause the COVID-19. No, it does not. You know, of course, these are inactivated. Covaxin is an example of inactivated, like polio vaccine or old technology. While Covishield is not inactivated. Covishield is recombinant, recombinant vector vaccine, adenoviral vector vaccine, right? So this does not cause COVID-19. It's a completely myth. Virus genome can integrate with human genome, especially with Pfizer vaccine and Moderna, they are RNA vaccine. People spread this lie. It does not integrate with the human genome. It's a myth. Vaccine can cause infertility. No, it's not. Vaccine has nothing to do with infertility. Vaccine can cause autism. Another fake news. No, it's not. You know, if you promote vaccine, you are the agent of private companies. That is the latest fake news I'm getting. You know, if you say that Covaxin is good, then they're saying that you're agent of this Bharat Biotech. So what? It's immaterial. I'm spreading the truth. You know, so get a vaccine, friend. Mistrust these pseudoscience and fake news. Okay, so science, let science prevail, right? And another fake news is that menstruating women should not be vaccinated. Who said that? It's lie. It's complete lie. It's a myth. Women on period can take vaccine, no problem at all. Even when you're pregnant, that is what the latest government regulations. Lactating women also can take vaccine, no problem at all. Okay. So another fake news is that Indians have natural immunity, so we don't need vaccine. Come on, then if that is the case, then why we are one of the worst affected country in the world now? So we have to get out of this mess now immediately, right? So stop spreading these lies. Another fake news is that getting COVID-19 is no big deal, and that's better than vaccine. Oh my God, it's a complete lie. That various incarnation of that, like COVID-19, friends. It's true that 98% of the people get out of COVID-19, but 2%, that's a big number. 2% means out of 100, 2 people who are getting COVID-19 are dying. It's a big thing. So it's not a time to think positive. Again, lots of fake news. People are saying that power of positive thinking. It's not time to spread anything negative. Don't portray our country in a negative limelight. Spread the positive thinking, power of positive thinking. So like, that means if you're happy, you will not get COVID-19. Who said that? There is a book by Rhonda Byrne, a secret. That is completely nonsense. Power of positive thinking and hopelessly optimistic. No, that is not the case. And another shocking forward which I saw is that one guy is justifying, very famous name, I don't want to say who is that person. He says that don't be negative. Even if 1% of the Indians die, that is around 1.3 crore, it's not a big deal. India has a lot of population. Oh my God, 1% of 1.3 crore. If your immediate family member is part of that, how will you actually see it? Think about it, friends. Empathy, that is what is missing right now. So it is a big deal. Even 1% of our population to miss with the COVID-19 is a big deal, right? Another fake news is that Indian food is rich in immune boosters, so we don't need vaccines. Who said that? If this is the case, then why we are actually one of the worst affected country? A foreign country, many of this like Japan or New Zealand or even Israel is doing fantastic nowadays. Even the US, the worst affected country, is now much well off after the vaccine has come up. So vaccines not required if you already had COVID-19 and successfully recovered. No, that is not the case. Current guidelines say that after the recovery, you should wait for 8 weeks and then you can get the vaccine. Still, it can actually boost your immunity. Of course, having a viral COVID-19 is like getting a vaccine, no doubt about it. But again, it's recommended that you should get vaccinated. That is the current government regulations. And vaccines, this is a very interesting technical sounding fake news. I was shocked to hear it. Vaccines force the novel coronavirus to mutate into the deadlier variants or strains. There's something called artificial selection, which has been reported in antibiotic resistance in bacteria, So similar situation is happening. So because of the vaccine, COVID-19 is now mutating to deadlier strain, double mutant, triple mutant. No, not at all. Many countries are not completely out of the vaccine. One example I told you is the Israel and in New Zealand, they completely vaccinated their citizens. Almost 80% have the vaccine. And if that is the case, then in those countries will see that resurgence of the extreme mutant. No, it is not the case. And it's not new also. For example, polio, or smallpox. Smallpox, the WHO has already, they have declared that smallpox has been completely eradicated from the world, in 1980, way back in 1980. So if the vaccine can actually cause the smallpox to mutate to the deadlier form, then how the vaccine actually decimate the smallpox? Think about it. Apply logic, friends. So mistrust all this pseudoscience, right? So, and of course, there are several less known facts. These are not myth. These are facts. Not many people are aware of it. So let me speak for the next few minutes on the less known facts. COVID-19 does not spread through dead bodies. You know, we think that, okay, dead body, people who died with COVID-19, oh my God, we should never go look at that, or, you know, we should maintain a kilometer from the dead bodies. No, it is not. We should be rather be more concerned about living people, you know, because the respiratory is an airborne disease, right? Going to the street, we have to be a lot more concerned about. Dead bodies cannot spread COVID-19. It's a myth, you know. So it has already been busted by CDC and WHO. The dead bodies are dead. Let them have a graceful death, no problem at all, you know. So it doesn't actually spread from the dead body. Speaking in low voice can prevent COVID-19. Correct. Multiple studies have shown that, because it's a respiratory droplet infection. You know, if you speak in low voice, if you reduce your you know, the intensity of your voice, it can really reduce the spread of COVID-19, you know. So by the way, mask also, there is a mantra about masking. My mask protects you, your mask protects me. Many of my friends, you know, they were actually wearing mask and taking all precautions, turned out to be COVID positive. You know why? Because they are with their lab mates who are not wearing mask. So that is the same thing happens, you know. If you are taking all the precaution, that is not adequate. Others in your group should take all the precaution, then only you're protected. You're wearing mask for others, others are wearing mask for yourself. So unless you become strict in your lab or in your classroom or in your workplace that others should follow the proper governmental regulation, then you are at risk. Same thing with the speaking, you know. You should tell others to speak in a low voice, and you should also speak in a very low voice. So if you speak in low voice, respiratory droplets become very low. And that also, you know, it's the same thing. It's the same common sense everywhere. If you go to the dentist, you tell the dentist that please don't speak, I'm not comfortable. Or if you are in a saloon, you know, of course you have to wear the mask. If you go to a haircut, the barber may speak a lot of gossips. You tell him or her that, you know, your beauty parlor person, that please stop speaking, I'm not comfortable, you know. So speaking is a very important form of spreading the COVID-19. Not many people are aware of it, right? And another very interesting thing is the UV in the sunlight can inactivate the COVID-19 SARS-CoV-2, you know, on the fomite. So on the surface, you know, the sunlight can inactivate. Multiple studies have shown, because sunlight contains UV rays that can inactivate the CoV-2 virus. So it's better if you're in a workplace which is not really no, work from home is possible. I don't know about University or others take part of this conference. If you have to go to the workplace, I suggest you to open up your curtains, you know, let the sunlight seeps in to your flood into your room, you know, that can actually clean the air as well as the surfaces. And another very interesting thing is that if you're using N95 mask, and very easy way to sterilize this N95 is sun dry it, put in the sunlight. Now it is summer days and sun is full of UV lights, UVB rays and UVC rays. So N95 sterilization, the easiest way is take out and let it sit in the sunlight for an hour. Then you're well off. You can wear it again, you know, no problem with that. And another very less known fact is vitamin D. There are several high quality evidence we have that vitamin D supplementation or vitamin D by sun exposure, the bare skin exposure may protect from severe COVID-19 cases. You know, so severity will be much lesser if you are having very good COVID, the vitamin D. This is really important if you are lethargic and if you are a sedentary lifestyle, especially if you're working in front of the computer most of the days, so you might not get adequate vitamin D. So why not take the vitamin D supplementation in consultation with your doctor? You know, don't take my words. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a clinician, but this is what the science say. And another less known fact is that mask is not required if you're exercising outdoors when it sweats a lot. That is the latest CDC guideline. We don't have any guideline here. Of course, here in India, we have to follow the government regulation, but the science says that if you're sweating a lot, and especially if you're alone doing the exercise, then mask is not required. Okay, so that is a less known fact. Another one is that proper way of handling the mask. It's not that you're wearing mask and you're well off. No, you should make sure that there is no hole, especially on this side and this side. If there are actually air can exit, then there is no point in wearing that kind of mask. so it should be completely sealed, right? Another one is never touch the front part of the mask, because the front part, very high chance that it is having coronavirus, and whenever you remove the mask, hold the straps and remove it, and never remove it by holding the front part. All those things are really, really important, the proper mask etiquette. And another less known fact is the plasma therapy. Convalescent plasma therapy does not reduce mortality. That is what the science says, and many people are not updated really. Many people think that, okay, donating plasma can save someone's life. It's risky. And more than that, it does not reduce mortality. That is what the latest evidence says. Remdesivir does not reduce mortality. People are hoarding the remdesivir, thinking that it's a life-saving drug. No, it's right that remdesivir can reduce the length of your hospital stay, but it does not reduce the mortality. So there is no point in buying remdesivir by paying lakhs of rupees from the black market. It's not a lifesaver. And what science say? Aspirin can significantly reduce the mortality. Aspirin is just 4 rupees per one strip, So that is what the latest science say, friends. If you're a doctor listening this talk, please have a look at the Cochrane reviews and latest evidences, because the things are changing drastically. Each day, new papers are coming, right? And don't trust this published paper alone. You trust on the systematic reviews and meta reviews like Cochrane. Current gold standard on evidence-based research is Cochrane reviews. They keep on updating their regulations and guidelines, And there is another very important thing is Swiss cheese model. Basically people think that if I wear mask, I don't have to go, maintain the physical distancing. No, you still need to. And if I maintain the 2-meter physical distancing, I don't need mask. You have to wear mask, even if you maintain the physical distancing. And if you get vaccine, 2 shots of vaccine like me, many people think that if I got 2 shots of vaccine, I no longer need mask or no longer need physical distancing. No, you still need. So all the 3 things are really required: mask, physical distancing, and vaccine. All the 3 things, so each step is like layers on a Swiss cheese. You are increasing your risk of protected from the COVID-19 by all these things. Another important thing is daily wear glasses. If you wear sunglasses, wear it especially during the public spaces, or the sunglass with the anti-fog layer, so that you can combine with the mask and the glass. There are several high quality studies that says that the sunglass and daily wear glasses significantly protects you from COVID-19. And another one is that men are more prone for COVID-19 than women. Science says that, especially if you have pattern baldness, ecophagia. If you have a baldness right here or on the top head, so you are extremely riskier to suffer from severe COVID-19 infection. That is what the association, several papers says that. You can search in Google Scholar about the paper. Not many people are aware of it. So please trust only the reliable sources like Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. They are doing fantastic job on myth busting. So don't trust any other sources. Don't trust politicians, friends. This is a scientific problem, and trust scientific resources like CDC, World Health Organization, NHS, that is National Health Services of the UK, and our own Minister of Health and Family Welfare, and of course hospitals. Which hospital to trust? If you ask me, my take is that any hospitals with ambulance, life-saving ambulance. If the hospital has an ambulance, trust it. It can save your life too. And other very good website which I can suggest is Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic. They have fantastic evidence-based science website. And of course, how about doctors? Yes, doctors, are they updated or not? That is a thing. You can trust modern medical doctors if you have no other option. Of course, you should also update yourself, because it's fast changing, right? I have immense respect for one doctor from Tamil Nadu. And the doctor's name is Professor Gagandeep Kang. Professor Kang is the only Indian in the Indian history, friends, before independence or after independence, became fellow of prestigious Royal Society. She is an FRS. Only 30 Indians ever became fellow of FRS. post-independence or pre-independence. And the only one woman is Professor Gagandeep Kaur from CMC Vellore, Christian Medical College in Vellore. Professor Gagandeep Kaur is involved with Hoaxbusting. Several of the Hoaxbusting trust her. Look at what she says about the COVID-19 and follow the guideline and government regulations. And thanks a lot for listening to me. And I'm open for any questions if you have. Thank you so much.
I request Dr. Felix sir, many questions has been raised in the chat box. Kindly go through that and could you please answer for the same?
I can read out, sir, if you want.
Yeah, I mean, could you please pick some important questions, very
Yes,
important questions,
yes,
so that I can.
Before allowing the participant put questions, really very amazing, sir. Excellent. You have given everything in a capsule like that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
A lot of myths are there in the minds of every one of us. It's all because of the media. Every day, newspaper, we read something, and we get a lot of things through WhatsApp and even TV, other debates and all. You said, you are not a doctor. I can't believe. Okay. See, you are like an encyclopedia. You read everything, you collected and given as full proof for us. Basically, I have taken notes also. This I will circulate to my friends. If anyone follows whatever you suggest, definitely we will be away from corona. Even if it is affected, I am very much confident that it will come out from corona. Thank you very much, sir. Accept my compliments. Really good. And must thank my organizers who have chosen you and invite you to have. Because basically, this type of program, we may not get more than 100 participants. I see around 250 participants are there in this virtual conference. All the best, sir. Thank you. Now you can answer the questions of our friends.
Thank you so much, sir. As I was telling, please don't follow me or my regulation. Please follow the government regulation. Of Health and Family Welfare and Professor Gagandeep Kaur. Just check out her profile and her Mythbusters. So the science is how it works. So thank you so much, sir. I'm really humbled to have your good words. Thank you.
We are lucky and fortunate. Okay.
Thank you, sir. There is one question from Riti to Felix, sir. Sir, can you please brief us about what is 70% vaccine? As we are hearing that this vaccine is only 70% effective.
Yeah, I think it's a very good question, Riti. Yeah, Riti asked this question, and
Yes.
Riti, it's a fantastic question. So people are not at all understanding what is the 70% efficacy. People think that, okay, 70% efficacy means, let me tell you how the people take it. So out of 100 people who got vaccinated, 70 people will be protected from COVID, while 30% will get the COVID-19. No, that is an incorrect way to say that. You can Google it. That is not the way. It's called efficacy. It's not success, it's called efficacy, So we have data for, that is called the clinical trial. The vaccine, they do a large scale clinical trials. And Covishield, for example, the Oxford University did the clinical trial in multiple countries, to see that the racial differences. Africa they did, America they did, Asia they did. And then they, let me tell you about the Covishield, the Oxford University vaccine. They conducted this trial on 17,882, I guess, individuals. And out of which 342 something turned out to be positive. So that means that 1% only turned out, less than 0.01% became positive. So even then, the efficacy is, they are actually reduced the efficacy to 76%. It's not 70, it's 76% after the first dose, And if you get the second dose of Covishield, efficacy improves to 84%. So 84% means, in a simple way, 84% likely that you will not get severe COVID-19. That is what, in a very common sense, approximation of that statement. It does not mean that you will get COVID-19, 84 persons out of 100 will develop, are immune, while the rest, that is 16 out of 100 will get the COVID-19. That is not what it means. Actually the Covishield, if you really look at the phase 3 clinical trial, only 0.01% got the COVID, out of 17,882. So it's so much better, but still scientists don't want to take full of credit. They want to tone down the statement. They don't want sensationalism. So in the worst case scenario, this vaccine will give you protection 84%. That is what the Oxford University is claiming. Of course, Covaxin also has got their own efficacy, So that is how to interpret this efficacy values. Yeah.
Thank you. There is another question from Suma Gururaj. She has asked, Ministry of Ayush also suggests that traditional medicine enhances immune capacity, but not as medicine to COVID, but to reduce the symptoms and probably to reduce mortality. I strongly believe herbal medicine at least make you more immunocompetent. Is it a fact?
Yeah, well, I don't want to cause a controversy, but I would like to say that belief is immaterial in science. You believe in something or not, it doesn't matter. In science, is all about the evidences, and Ayush, of course, the Ministry of Ayush, somehow I feel that Ministry of, the Health and Family Welfare, trust them. Trust Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. That is what the scientists are all saying. Please trust. And it's not the time. I'm not saying that Ayurveda is nonsense or something. Of course, Ayurveda, I also follow the Ayurveda in several forms. Ayurveda will give you a holistic approach, absolutely fine. And if you feel that having this turmeric in milk is good for you, no problem at all, take it. So there is a placebo effect also. The mental stress is also very important. I told you, mental stress can lead to the immune system disorder. So if you think that, if you like it, if you believe that it's okay, then no problem at all, you can take it. The chicken soup, for example, some of my friends in Germany, they say that chicken soup is fantastic for the COVID-19. They are taking it. So, I mean, it depends. I don't take, if you ask me, take the chicken soup, I'm a vegetarian. But, that is one thing, but saying that having chicken soup will protect you from COVID-19 and you don't have to wear mask or maintain physical distance, that is very different. And don't do that. So that my take is that please follow Ministry of Health and Family Welfare's guidelines. Okay, so that's what I would like to say about this.
There is another question from an anonymous attendee. Turmeric, tulsi, ajwa, etc. said to have antimicrobial, antioxidant activities. So why do you think that we should not take it? You have not said that you should not take it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's understandable.
To answer this, yeah, I never said that. Of course, if you like it, there is no harm in taking it. Absolutely fine. But my only point is that if you think that, okay, taking it, I'm protected from COVID-19, that these two are very different. Okay, please don't fall prey for these pseudoscientific claims. Okay, that is the main thing. And now coming to the this antimicrobial claim, very importantly, I busted this myth so many times. Copper. Many people think that traditional use is always good. Drinking water in copper bottle is really good. Friends, it's repeatedly said in the science. So many scientific papers says that copper is antibacterial. Correct. Nothing against it. Copper is antibacterial, but so many papers say that if the copper is leached onto the food, it can cause you cupperitis as well as Alzheimer's disease. Yeah, so that is the catch here. If the copper is on a formite, like touching surface, in traditional Hindu architecture in Kerala, as well as Tamil Nadu, I don't know, the temple, the temple's handlebar is copper. It's very good practice, because the ancient wisdom, I completely agree, because many people will touch that surface, and if it's antibacterial, it can prevent it, infection. But copper cooking vessel No, it's dangerous, friends. Copper, when it gets leached onto the food, especially if you cook acidic food like yogurt or this tamarind. Of course, tamarind is also acidic, or lime, or even tomatoes. If you cook it in, you get copper in your body, or even drink water on a copper bottle. Not good at all. That is incorrect. That is not scientific. Yeah. So that is why, even if it's antibacterial, again, you see that antibacterial makes no sense in COVID-19. COVID-19 is not a bacterial infection. It is basically viral disease. Okay. So antibiotics also makes no sense. Many people spread that lie that taking antibiotic is good for COVID-19. No, it's not. Yeah.
Sir, there is another question from Dr. Jayshankar. Sir, can you explain why some people die after taking vaccine? Another question, similar question is, after vaccination, many people are affected. Why?
So these are something called breakthrough infection. So my presumption is that the person are already infected, you see, before taking vaccine, they are in asymptomatic phase. So see that these kind of situations easily you are expected, you see, you're looking at that large number, 1 million people going for the vaccination. Then I would expect that, maybe 0.1% might even die right there, the heart attack in the vaccination center. That is what is expected, you see. It's a random, it's tail event of probability distribution, you see. So it's nothing extraordinary in it, and people can get this one also. I mean, in the vaccination center, they might be exposed to the virus. There are many people coming to the vaccination center. So my advice is that if you are going for vaccination, take adequate precaution. You wear the sunglass, plus you should use double masking is now the ministry is recommending, so that means that surgical mask and N95 mask, or surgical mask and cotton mask. So use 2 masks and take adequate precautions while going to the vaccination centers, so that you can minimize the risk of the vaccination. I took 2 vaccines, 2 doses. I'm alive, and many of my friends have taken vaccines. Say, friends, I would like to say you one thing. For the last 1 year, I lost 200 people. And most of these 200 people, I would say none of these 200 people took vaccine. And people who took vaccine are also getting positive, but they're not serious. They get COVID-19 and they recover faster. My own mother, friends, 9 open heart surgeries she had. She's a miracle lady, I would say. She's living on her 4th pacemaker, and she's undergoing the chemo and immunotherapy for 4th stage cancer. She took vaccine, no problem at all. If she can take vaccine, and all my family have taken vaccine, no side effect, nothing. And don't trust this hearsay and anecdotes that vaccine will give you, you are likely to die. I told you, right? The chance of dying from a lightning stroke, random lightning stroke, is so higher than getting the blood clot after the vaccination. So mistrust this, the fake news.
Another related question related to vaccine by Shanti is, which vaccine is the best?
So my point here is that, right now we have 2 vaccines in the market. That is actually the ministry is giving in the government hospital as well as the private hospital, I would say, Covishield and Covaxin. And which vaccine is best, if you ask me, I would say both. There is nothing like which one, Covishield is better than Covaxin or Covaxin better than Covishield. Now, your priority is to get the vaccine. That should be your priority. It's immaterial which one, because both of them have got adequate proof that it works. Covaxin also now have got their phase 3 clinical trial data has been revealed. It works. The success rate is very good. Covishield is also very good. So what? It's similar. And now we have the 3rd vaccine is also on the way, the Sputnik 5 vaccine from Russia. So no problem at all. Any vaccine, get the vaccine. That should be your priority. Rather than thinking or confused about which vaccine should I choose. Yeah, get the vaccine. Any vaccine.
Khushbu Garg has asked, what are some of the ways to improve and maintain our immune system?
Which I already said, right?
Already it has been clearly
immune
explained.
system. I told you the best way is, if you are a smoker, stop smoking. If you drink alcohol, even a little bit, you think that little bit alcohol is good for your coronary artery. No, it's not. Even one glass of wine a day is bad for your health, because it's an addictive drug, friends. It's a drug, you know. Stop drinking, stop smoking. If you do these two things and get the normal exercise and nutritious food, whatever food that you like. I like turmeric. I usually I have turmeric because I love the taste of turmeric. No problem. I love honey, you know. I love everything, whatever I said. I'm not against anything. But saying, I mean, having this is different, but thinking that it will protect you, give you boosted immunity from COVID-19, that's very different. You know? Yeah.
Actually, there are so many other questions also. Uh, One question is, what are your takes on plasma therapy being used for the corona patients, which you already
Yes.
explained in a
Yeah,
better
plasma
way.
therapy I already explained, and I told you Cochrane review is the current gold standard in the evidence-based medicine. Cochrane review, by the way, it's not about one study. They look at all kinds of evidence-based studies from the PubMed and other sources, and then they redo analysis and then give a clear-cut recommendation for clinical practitioner. Cochrane review, and check
There is,
out the plasma therapy has already been covered in Cochrane review. It says that chance of mortality is not decreased. So then what's the point? The plasma therapy is very expensive too, you know. I have donated plasma last year. That is not for this COVID-19. I never got COVID-19, but I did donate it to help one of my colleague. You know, I'm a regular blood donor, by the way. I spend every single birthday by donating blood. You may also consider blood donation is really good. And also I'm a full donor, signed up in a NOTO, same Ministry of Family Welfare of Government of India has got NOTO card, NOTO program. You can also sign up. And even post death, I signed up to give my body for medical research, even forensic research. Yeah, you know, donating blood is really good, but somehow plasma therapy, the current evidences say it's not decreasing the mortality. Yeah.
oh, there are some more questions, but there are lengthy questions also. I think these questions we will forward it to you, and
Sure.
you can try to clarify, because it requires quite a lot of information.
Sure.
Considering the time, I think it's a really wonderful, excellent lecture. After a long time, I have heard, and we thank you for making such a difficult topic, such a simple one, and it is very logically and very clearly explained. With this, I think we can ourselves now apprise this to the people. And thank you so much, Dr. Felix. It is wonderful.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me here, and I really enjoyed the session. And thank you so much. Yes.
I will forward it to the Mr.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, will forward the questions to the others. Dr. Sendil, you can take up, and the formal thanking can
Sir,
be done.
Dr. Felix, sir, finally from my side, I have one doubt. So initially the vaccinations, there was a duration between the first dose and the second dose. The government said the duration is 4 weeks to 6 weeks. Now it has been prolonged. So again, the discussion comes 4 to 8 to 12 weeks. It is whether if you prolong the durations, whether that will boost up our immunity systems. Is there any clear proof by any labs, any benchmark, any data proof? Yeah, could you please?
Yes, we have very clear evidence that after 12 weeks, the best time for, they did the test. The Oxford University did the test, and they released to the public, and that is the reason why people like Professor Gagandeep Kaur, she also recommended 12 weeks is the ideal duration, because the reason is that after getting a vaccine jab, the antibodies slowly started decreasing, and after 12 weeks, if you can wait till 12 weeks to get the second jab, it boosts up that the antibodies in our blood. So instead of getting the second dose very fast, it's always better to wait that long. The 12 weeks means 3 months. After 3 months, if you take the vaccine, it's very good that you will get protected for a longer time. And another interesting question is that, I don't know, may someone ask here or not, what if you did not get the vaccine? are you not protected? No issues. Even for 6 to 8 months after only one dose, you're still protected, no problem. And if you miss the vaccine after 12 weeks, what will happen? No problem at all. You can get the vaccine whenever you're okay, or whenever the vaccines are available, no problem at all. Okay, so you can get the vaccine. But 12 weeks, yes, 12 weeks, there is actually very high quality evidence that says that for Covishield vaccine, 12 weeks is the best duration. Yeah.